皆さん、日本語コースへようこそ Hello and welcome to this Japanese for Beginners course. This is your teacher Rosie, and I'm so excited to start this Japanese learning journey together with you. I have studied Japanese for over 6 years. I have studied, worked, and lived in Japan, so I have immersed myself into Japanese culture and Japanese language. And now that I'm working as a Japanese teacher, I am so happy to share my knowledge with other people and see their progress. So I hope that we can learn many new things together. So without further ado, let's get started. So what I would like us to start off with is the Japanese writing system. So what do we need to know about the Japanese writing system is that it consists out of 3 writing scripts. The first one is Hiragana. Hiragana, Hiragana. The second one is Katakana, Katakana, Katakana. And the third one is Kanji, Kanji, Kanji. So you might ask, why do we need 3 writing scripts? Why isn't one enough? Because each of these writing scripts play a significant role in this Japanese writing system. So let's take a look. What role does hiragana, katakana, and kanji play? So first of all, hiragana, it is used to write down purely Japanese words, grammatical endings, and honorifics. So we use it for conjugating verbs and things like that, and writing down purely Japanese words. How can we distinguish hiragana from other writing scripts is that it looks very elegant, the lines are very soft, and I will show you how it looks like later on. For katakana, it is used to write down foreign words. So for example, people's names, names of places, food, names of cities, and etc. All foreign words. Okay? And kanji, kanji came from ancient China, and it is used to write down a word or a concept, okay? So let's take a look at how these 3 writing scripts would look in a sentence. Let's read the sentence together. Arison-san wa keiki o tabemasu. Arison-san wa keiki o tabemasu. Arison-san wa keiki o tabemasu. So, Arison-san means Allison. So Arison is Allison, and san is a prefix that we use next to people's names to make it sound more polite, like Mr., Mrs., Mrs., and etc. Wa is a topic particle that I will talk about later on. Keiki means cake. Tabemasu will eat. So Arison will eat cake. Now, which out of all these letters, out of all of these characters that you see on your screen, which of them are hiragana? Well, it would be these. These circled characters would be written in hiragana. So what you can see here, that sanwa is written in hiragana, and it has very soft, curvy lines that we can distinguish from other characters. Also particle o and grammatical endings for verbs. So yes, for katakana, it's more sharp. It's not as elegant. So we use it to write down foreign words like names like Allison, Arison, Arison, or names of food like cake, keiki, keiki. Very good. And last one, kanji. We use it to express a concept or a word. So this is to eat, okay? But if we write down only kanji, we will not know is this present tense, past tense, what is happening? That's why we need grammatical endings to conjugate the verbs, and we will write that in hiragana. Very good. So now, without further ado, let's get started and let's start learning our first writing script, hiragana. Hiragana. Now, our main base of hiragana will be 5 vowels. A, I, u, o. So we have a, I, u, o. A, I, u, o. Okay, 5 vowels. Now, we need to also know the way how to write them, okay? So we need to know the stroke order. So I will show you the stroke order right now. So our first stroke would be a horizontal stroke, left to right. 1, 1, very good. Our second stroke would be 2, 2, very good. And our third stroke would be this curve, 3. So we have 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Now for E, E. Our first stroke will be a small hook, 1, 1. And our second stroke will be this line, ching, ching. So we have hook and ching. Very good. For U, our first stroke would be this one, 1, 1. And our second stroke would be this wave, 2, 2. So we have 1, 2. Very good. For E, our first stroke would be this one, 1. And then we would have 2, this long stroke, 1, 2. So the first part of 2 is like a Z, 1, and then it becomes a curve, 1, 2. Perfect. And for O, our first stroke is horizontal stroke, 1. Our second stroke is this one, 2 with the curve, and this is 3. Ching. So you have 1, 2, 3. Perfect. So this is our A, I, U, E, O. A, I, U, E, O. Very good. Let's move on to our second line, the K line. And K line is like this. Ka, ka, ki, ki, ku, ku, ke, ke, ko, ko. Ka, ki, ku, ke, ko. Ka, ki, ku, ke, ko. Very good. Now, let's learn how to write them down. Let's learn the stroke order. You ready? Let's go. Our first stroke would be this one, 1. Second stroke would be top to bottom, 2. And this would be our third stroke, 3. So we have 1, top to bottom, 3. Perfect. This is our ka. For ki, we have a first stroke here, 1. Then we have a second stroke here, 2. Then we have our third stroke, 3, and we should stop around here and then leave an empty space in between and then go 4. Why am I saying this to you? Because this is a printed key letter. When we're writing it down in a handwritten way, it will look differently. So it will have a little space in between. So imagine 1, 2, 3. Someone stops you here. Then you make a little break here. And then you continue. 4. 1, 2, 3. And you continue here. 4. Very, very good. For ku, ku, imagine that it's a small bird flying to your left. 1, 1, 1. That's just one stroke. Very good. Ke, ke. We have stroke number 1, 1. Stroke number 2, 2. And stroke number 3, top to bottom. So we have top to bottom here, left to right here, top to bottom here. This is our ke. Perfect. And for ko, we have 1, and then we have 2, continuing. 1, 2. This is also not a handwritten letter. So for handwritten letter, you would need to continue until here, then leave a break, and then continue here. Very good. So we have our ka, ki, ku, ke, ko. Ka, ki, ku, ke, ko. Very good. And now it's time for our S line. And in our S line, we have sa, sa, shi, shi, s, s, se, se, so, so. Sa, shi, su, se, so. Sa, shi, su, se, so. Very good job. So now let's look at the stroke order of the S line. So the first stroke for sa would be 1, left to right, horizontally. 1. Then we would go 2, and we would stop around here, and then we would leave a little break, and we would start here. 3. Yes, I know that this little break is not visible here, but when we are handwriting it, it will look differently. So we have 1, 2, stop here, 3, continue. Perfect. Let's move on to she. So she basically is like a small hook. Imagine that you're going fishing. So it's just like 1, 1, 1. Very easy. Let's move on to su. So we have a horizontal line, 1, 1. And the second stroke would be 1 with a curve going down. So 1, and then with a curve going down. So this is stroke number 1. Stroke number 2 for su. Now let's move on to se. So first we have a horizontal stroke, left to right, 1, 1. Then we have top to bottom, 2, 2. And we have 3, 3. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. This is our set. And for so, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So basically it's one stroke. Look, 1, 1. Perfect. So this is our S line. Sashi, su, se, so. Sashi, su, se, so. Perfect. Now, let's take a look at our T line. So we have ta, chi, tsu, te, to, ta, chi, tsu, te, to. Perfect. Now let's look at the stroke order of ta. So first we have left to right, 1. Top to bottom, 2. And we have 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. This is our ta. For chi, we have horizontal line left to right, 1, 1. And our second line would be 2, 2, with like a little wave here. So 1, 2. This is our chi. Chi, perfect. For tsu, we have a small wave. 1, 1. This is our tsu. For te, we also have only one stroke. 1, 1, 1. Very easy. And last one is to. So we have stroke number 1, 1. And stroke number 2, 2. 1, 2. Amazing. Very good. So we have ta, chi, tsu, te, to. Ta, chi, tsu, te, to. Now let's move on to our N line. And here we have na, ni, nu, ne, no, nani, nu, ne, no. Nani, nu, ne, no. Very good. And now let's take a look at the stroke order of na. So we have 1, 2. So left to right, top to bottom, then this one here, 2. And then a little ribbon here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. This is na. For ni, we have here 1. I know that you cannot see it here, but it should be like a small hook going back up. So 1 and then 2. 1 and 2. So this is ni. For ne, our first stroke would be here, 1. And our second stroke would be like this, 1 and. So we have 1 and then 2. So we have only 2 strokes, but a lot of curves, so be careful. 1 and 2. This is nu. For ne, our first stroke would be top to bottom, 1. And second stroke would be like a Z and then curving up here. So 1 and then 2 curving up. This is ne. And for no, we start here and it's only 1 stroke. 1. 1, like a bagel. 1. Perfect. So we have our N line. Nani nu ne no. Nani nu ne no. Very good. Here we have our H line. Ha, ha, hi, fu, fu, he, ho, ho. Ha, hi, fu, he, ho. Ha, hi, fu, he, ho. Let's start off with ha. So we start here with small hook, 1. 1. And again here you cannot see it because it's a typed letter. And a second stroke is here, 2. And a third stroke is here, 3. So we have 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. This is ha. For hi, we only have 1 stroke. 1. 1. 1. Perfect. For fu, this is our first stroke, 1. This is our second stroke, 2. Third stroke, 3. Fourth stroke here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Very good. This is fu. For he, we only have 1 stroke, so we have 1. 1. 1. The right side is a bit longer, as you can see. This is he. And for ho, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. So this is ho. So this is our H line. Ha, hi, fu, he, ho. Ha, hi, fu, he, ho. Very good. Now let's learn the Hiragana M line. So let's start off. Ma, ma, mi, mu, me, mo. Ma, mi, mu, me, mo. Ma, mi, mu, me, mo. And now let's look at the stroke order. So the first stroke for ma would be horizontal stroke left to right. 1. Second stroke would be also horizontal stroke left to right, 2. And the third stroke would go through both of them, 3 with a little knot. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Now let's take a look at mi. The first stroke would look like this. 1. Very good. One more time. 1. And the second stroke would be like this, 2. So we have 1, 2, mi. For mu, the first stroke is a horizontal stroke left to right, 1. And the second stroke is a very long stroke, 2, and going up to here. And the third stroke is here. So we have 1, 2, 3. Very good. This is mu. For me, the first stroke is 1. And the second stroke is 2. 1, 2. Perfect. This is me and mo. So this is stroke number 1, stroke number 2, and the last stroke. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. This is our M line. Ma, mi, mu, me, mo. Ma, mi, mu, me, mo. Now let's take a look at these 3 sounds. Ya, y, yo. Ya, you, yo. Very good. So now let's learn the stroke order of ya. So the first stroke is this one, 1. Second stroke is this one, 2. And then 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Pay attention to this curve here. So this is ya. For you, the first stroke is this one, 1. And this is the second stroke, 2. So we have 1, 2. This is you. And for yo, the first stroke is here, left to right, 1. And this is the second stroke, 2. 1, 2, yo. So this is our ya, you, yo. Ya, you, yo. Very good. Let's take a look at the R line. So we have ra, ri, ru, re, ro. Pay attention here that the R sound is not as harsh as in English, so it's not like r, not like R, but it's very soft in between L and R. So like ra, ri, ru, re, ro. It's quite soft, okay? So let's start off with ra. What is the stroke order? So the first stroke would be this one, 1. And the second stroke would be 2. So we have 1, 2, 1, 2. This is ra. So the stroke order for ri, we have 1 with a little hook and 2 going down. 1 with a little hook, 2 going down. This is ri. For ru, there is only 1 long stroke. So we start here, 1. This is 1 stroke. 1. Very good. So this is ru. Now let's take a look at re. The first stroke is top to bottom, 1. And the second stroke is very long as well, 2. So it starts off as a Z, but then goes up and it's like a wave with a curve. So 1, 2. This is re. And ro also has only 1 stroke, so 1. This is ro. So this is our R line. Ra, ri, ru, re, ro. Ra, ri, ru, re, ro. Very good. Now we have wa, wo, n. Wa, wo, n. So let's take a look at the stroke order for wa. Our first stroke goes top to bottom, 1. Our second stroke is only 1 stroke and it's like a Z, but then it's like a wave coming inside. So we have 1, 2, 1, 2. This is wa. For wo, the first stroke is horizontal stroke left to right, 1. The second stroke is this one, 2. And the third stroke is a hook, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. This is wo. And for n, there's only 1 stroke. 1. Perfect. So this is wa, wo, n. Wa, wo, n. Perfect. So this is wa, wo, n. Wa, wo. And now let's learn about the diacritical marks. So there are 2 types of diacritical marks in Japanese language. One type has 2 small lines like this, ten, 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 ten. And another type is this small little bubble. So what role do these diacritical marks play in Japanese language? Well, instead of creating new characters for Hiragana and Katakana to express new sounds, we instead add them to the letters and characters that we already have to create new sounds. Yes, I will show you how it will look like very soon. First of all, there are 2 specific names for these diacritical marks. So the first one is dakuten, but I like to call it just ten, 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 ten. It's easier to remember. And this little circle, little bubble is called handakuten. But these 2 names are very scientific and very specific, and for you learning Japanese language, it's not important to know them. So just remember ten, ten and little bubble, and then you should remember what role and what sounds will they create, okay? Let's take a look. So, do you remember what letter is this? Yes, this is hiragana letter ka, ka. If we add the small diacritical mark 10, 10, 10, 10, this ka will turn into ga, ga. Okay, so it will create a new sound. So instead of ka, it will sound like ga, ga. Perfect. Now, let's take a look at these letters. So if ka turned into ga, what will happen to ki, ku, ke, ko? I will give you 5 seconds to think about it before we look at the answers. Yes, so they will turn into gi, gi, gu, gu, ge, ge, and go, go. So we will have ga, gi, gu, ge, go, ga, gi, gu, ge, go. Very good. And as you can see, we will write these marks next to the letter on the right side, okay? Very good. And as you can see, we will write these diacritical marks next to these letters on their right side, like this, okay? Very good. Now, let's take a look. So before, this was our S line. This was sa, shi, su, se, so. But when we added these diacritical marks, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, these letters became za, za, ji, ji, z, z, ze, ze, and zo, zo. Very good. So we have za, ji, z, ze. So we have za, ji, z, ze, zo. Very good. Now, the T line, ta, chi, tsu, te, to, will turn into da, da, ji, ji, z, z, de, de, do, do. So, da, ji, z, de, do, da, ji, z, de, do. Very good. Our H line, ha, hi, fu, he, ho, will turn into ba, ba, bi, bi, bu, bu, be, be, bo, bo. Ba, bi, bu, be, bo. Ba, bi, bu, be, bo. However, if we write a little bubble next to the H line, it will become pa, pa, pi, pi, pu, pu, pe, pe, po, po. Papi, pu, pe, po. Papi, pu, pe, po. Very good. Now, let's learn about another thing in Japanese language. This thing will be called contracted sounds. So first, let's take a look at these letters. Ya, ya, yu, yu, yo, yo. So now let's take a look at these contracted sounds. So what do I mean by contracted sounds? So this ya, yu, yo will become very small. So this ya, yu, yo for contracted sounds will be half of the size of normal ya or normal hiragana letter. So if you can see, the size of ya and size of ki, they're very different, right? Okay. And when we will add this ya, yu, or yo to a normal hiragana character like ki, so ki plus ya will not be kiya. It will be kya, kya, kya. And that's why we will call it contracted sounds, because we will contract them, okay? So here we have kya, kya. Now let's take a look at how this would look like with ki and then afterwards with gi. So ki plus ya would be kya, kya. Ki plus yu would be kyu, kyu. Ki plus yo would be kyo, kyo. Gi plus ya would be gya, gya. Gi plus yu would be gyu, gyu. Gi plus yo would be gyo, gyo. So we have kya, kyu, kyo, gya, gyu, gyo. Very good. Now with shi and with ji. So we will have sha, sha, shu, shu, sho, sho, ja, ja, ju, ju, jo, jo, sha, shu, sho, ja, ju, jo. Very good. Now with chi and with ni. So we have cha, cha, chu, chu, cho, cho, nya, nya, nyu, nyu, nyo, nyo. Very good. Now with H line, we will have hya, hya, hyu, hyu, hyo, hyo, bya, bya, byu, byu, byo, byo, pya, pya, pyu, pyu, pyo, pyo. Very good. Now with mi and with ri. Mya, mya, myu, myu, myo, myo. Rya, rya, ru, ru, ryo, ryo. So we have mya, myu, myo, rya, ru, ryo. Very good. Now that we have learned about contracted sounds, let's take a look at prolonged vowels. So, if we want to have prolonged a, prolonged e, prolonged u, prolonged e, or prolonged o, what do we need to do? Well, if we want to have prolonged a, let's say we have the word okasan, so we have ka here. If we want prolong this a sound to ka, we need to add one more a, and then it will be okasan, okasan. So a will sound like this, a. So to make a double, you need to add an extra a. To make e double, let's say we have the word oni-san. So we have oni, we have ni. We need to add an extra e to make it oni-san, oni-san, to make it like this, to make it e. If we want to make a double u, we need to add an extra u. So let's say we have the word suji. So after su, we need to add extra u to make it longer. So suji, suji. Very good. So it becomes like this. Now to make double e, it's a bit tricky. So we can either add an extra e, like one-san, one-san. So after ne, we add an extra e, so it's ne. It's like this, ne-san. Or it can be like this, ega, ega. So we have word movie, ega. So after e, we add e. And we don't say ega, we say ega, ega. Very good. And to make it double o, we need to add either u, either o afterwards. So let's look at the word boshi, boshi. So after bo, we add an extra u, and it becomes boshi. Becomes like this, boshi. Or we have the word toka, to. So afterwards, we can add o, toka, and it also becomes double. So it depends on the situation. Now, we learn how to make prolonged vowels. Let's look at how to make double consonants. So, let's take a look at this word, katta, katta. So this is small tsu, this is not big tsu. If it would be big tsu, we would say katsuta. But this is small tsu, it's half the size of a normal hiragana letter. If it's half the size of a normal hiragana letter, it works as a tool to make the consonant coming afterwards double. So we don't pronounce it at all, we just make the consonant coming afterwards double. So if we have T, it becomes double T, katta. If we have mat and te, it will be matte, matte, T will become double. If we have su and pai, the P will become double, suppai, suppai. So if you write a small tsu, it will make a double consonant, like double T, double P, double K, or double S. And there's one more way. If we're talking about consonants like N, like N, so we need to add an extra N to na, ni, nu, ne, no. So if we have word yonnen, nen is ne, so we need to add an yonnen, so it's double N. Very good. Now let's practice. You will see a hiragana letter on the screen and I will give you 5 seconds to think about what letter is this, okay? If you feel like you need more time, feel free to pause the lesson, okay? Let's go. So what letter is this? A. A. Very good. What letter is this? O. O. What letter is this? Ru. Ru. What letter is this? Ro. Ro. What letter is this? Ne. Ne. What letter is this? Re. Re. What letter is this? Wa. Wa. What letter is this? Chi. Chi. What letter is this? Chi. Chi. What letter is this? Su. Su. What letter is this? Me. Me. What letter is this? Nu. Nu. What letter is this? I. I. What letter is this? She. She. What letter is this? Mo. Mo. What letter is this? Ma. Ma. What letter is this? Ha. Ha. What letter is this? Ho. Ho. What letter is this? Sa. Sa. What letter is this? Ki. Ki. What letter is this? Ga. Ga. What letter is this? Za. 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 What letter is this? Pa. Pa. What letter is this? Bo. Bo. What letter is this? Po. Po. What letter is this? Ba. Ba. What letter is this? Z. 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 What letter is this? Zo. Zo. What letter is this? G. G. What letter is this? Go. Go. How do we pronounce this? Kyo. Kyo. Ki plus yo. Kyo. Kyo. How would we pronounce this? Kyo. Kyo. because this is a contracted sound, kyo, kyo plus u, so it's prolonged. Kyo, kyo. How would we pronounce this? Mya, mya. Mi plus ya would be mya, mya. How would we pronounce this? Myo, myo. Mi plus yo, myo. How would we pronounce this? Myo, myo. Because we have myo plus u, so it's prolonged. Myo. Now let's practice. Let's try to write down these letters in Japanese. I will give you 5 seconds, but feel free to pause this lesson here to take as much time as you need to write it down, okay? Let's go. Ao, ao. It would mean blue. I love. Ao, ao, to meet. Very good. How about these words? Ame, ame, rain. Ashi, ashi, leg. Asa, asa, morning. Ie, ie, house. Uta, uta, song. Eki, eki, train station. Oto, oto, sound. Okay, now let's try these words. Kau, kau, to buy. Kita, kita, north. Kuma, kuma, bear. Keshiki, keshiki, view. Koko, koko, here. Okay, let's try these ones. Sakana, sakana, fish. Shika, shika, deer. Suika, suika, watermelon. Semi, semi, cicadas. Sora, sora, sky. Okay, let's try these words. Take, take, bamboo. Chikai, chikai, near. Tsuki, tsuki, moon. Te, te, hand. Tori, tori, bird. These words. Namae, namae, name. Niwa, niwa, garden. Inu, inu, dog. Neko, neko, cat. Nori, nori, glue. Okay, let's try these words. Hana, hana, nose or flower. Hikoki, hikoki, airplane. Fune, fune, boat. Hebi, hebi, snake. Hon, hon, book. Let's try out these words. My, before or in front of. Michi, michi, street. Mushi, mushi, insect, bug. Me, eye. Momo, momo, peach. Let's try out these words. Yaku, yaku. Yuki, yuki, snow. Yoru, yoru, evening. Now let's try to write down these words. Rainen, rainen, next year. Risu, risu, squirrel. Saru, saru, monkey. Rekishi, rekishi, history. Rosoku, rosoku, candle. And our last words, let's do this. Wakame, wakame, seaweed. O particle wo. Nen, years. Otsukare-sama desu. You have worked so hard. So otsukare-sama desu is like a ritual phrase that people say after they work hard and finish work. They say it to each other every day. So I'm paying my respect to you because you have worked so hard and you have learned hiragana. So otsukare-sama desu and omedetou gozaimasu. Congratulations, you have finished your first lesson of this course. So I will see you in our second lesson. Mata ne! 皆さん、日本語コースへようこそ. Hello and welcome to your second lesson of the Japanese for Beginners course. This is your teacher Rosie, and let's get started. So, I want us to review the Japanese writing system. So the Japanese writing system, as we have discussed before, consists of 3 writing scripts. So the first one is Hiragana, and we have learned Hiragana in our previous lesson already. And the second one is Katakana, which we will learn today. And the third one is Kanji. So do you remember what we use each of these writing scripts for? So yes, Hiragana is used for purely Japanese words, grammatical endings, or writing honorifics. Katakana is used for foreign words, people's names, names of places, food. So basically all the words that came from other countries. And the last one is Kanji, which came from ancient China. And Kanji, they can show us a word or they can show us a concept of something. So, let's analyze this sentence one more time. Arison-san wa keiki o tabemasu. Arison-san wa keiki o tabemasu. Arison-san, Allison, keiki, cake, tabemasu, will eat or eats. So, san wa, o, and bemasu are all written in hiragana. We can see it because they're very curved, very elegant, they're not sharp at all. However, Arison name Allison, and keiki, cake, they're both written in katakana, and we can see it because katakana is really sharp compared to hiragana. And the last part, tabe, this is a kanji. Very good. So let's start off with the first 5 sounds of hiragana. A, I, U, E, O. So we have A, I, U, E, and O. So now let's look at the stroke order. So the first stroke would be here, 1 with this sharp angle, 1. And the second stroke would go top to bottom, 2. So we have 1 and 2. For I, we have stroke from top to left, like 1, and it goes to the right side. and it goes to the left side, 1. And then we have top to bottom, 2. So 1 and 2. Very good. For katakana u, the first stroke would be here, 1. The second stroke would be here, 2. And the third stroke would be 3. So we have 1, 2, 3. Perfect. For e, we have first stroke here, 1. Left to right horizontal, 1. Then top to bottom, 2. And 3 would be the same line as here, but a bit longer. 3, left to right horizontal. So 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Now let's move to o. Our first stroke would be left to right horizontally, 1. Second stroke would be 2. And this would be our third stroke, 3. 1, 2, 3. Great. Let's move on to our K line, which is ka, ka, ki, ki, ku, ku, ke, ke, and ko, ko. So we have ka, ki, ku, ke, ko, ka, ki, ku, ke, ko. Very good. So let's start off with our strokes. The first stroke will be 1. 1. And our second stroke would go top to bottom, 2. 1, 2. Perfect. For ki, we have left to right, 1. Left to right, second one, but a bit longer, 2. And then top to bottom, 3. So we have 1, 2, 3. Very good. For ku, this would be our first stroke, 1. 1. And our second stroke would be here, 2. So 1 and 2. Perfect. That's our ku. For ke, this would be our first stroke here. So top to bottom, 1. Left to right, 2. And then 3. Top to bottom again. So we have 1, 2, 3. Perfect. And last one, ko. We would have 1, 2. 1, 2. So we have this angle, 90 degrees, 1, and then 2. Perfect. So we have ka, ki, ku, ke, ko. Great. Let's move on to our S line. And here we have sa, sa, shi, shi, su, su, se, se, and so, so. So we have sa, shi, su, se, so. Sa, shi, su, se, so. So, our first stroke for sa would be horizontal stroke, 1. So the first stroke for sa would be here, left to right horizontally, 1. Our second stroke would be here, top to bottom, 2. And it's quite short, so don't make it too long. 2. And our third stroke would be like this, 3. So we have left to right, top to bottom short, top to bottom with a curve. Perfect. Now moving on to shi. Shi. So our first stroke would be here, 1. Our second stroke would be here, 2. And our third stroke, and this is very important, it has to go up. So like this, up, up. So we have 1, 2, and then we're going up. Perfect. And this is very important to remember the stroke order of shi, because we will have another katakana character which will be quite similar, and the stroke order will define their differences. Okay? Perfect. Now let's move on to su. The first stroke will go like this. 1, 1. And the second stroke will be here, 2. So we have 1, 2. Perfect. That's our su. For se, our first stroke would be here, 1, 1. And our second stroke would be 2. So we have 1, 2. Perfect. And for so, our first stroke would be here, 1. And our second stroke would be top to bottom. Top to bottom. So 1, top to bottom. Please also remember this one, because we will have a character that will look alike with so as well. Okay, so here we have sa, shi, su, se, so. Very good. Now let's move on to T line. T line. So here we have ta, chi, tsu, te, to. Ta, chi, tsu, te, to. Ta, chi, tsu, te, to. Very good. Now let's look at the stroke order. So for ta, the first stroke would be this one, top to bottom, 1. The second stroke would be this one, 2. And the third stroke would be this one, 3. So we have 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Moving on to chi. The first stroke would be right to left, 1. The second stroke would be left to right, 2. And then we would go top to bottom. So we have right to left, left to right, and top to bottom. Perfect. Moving on to tsu. Tsu, and if you remember our shi, they look alike, they both look like smiley faces, right? So the stroke order for this one, we have 1, 2, and then we would go top to bottom. 1, 2, top to bottom. Perfect. For te, the first stroke would be a horizontal stroke, so we have 1. The second stroke would be also a horizontal stroke, but a bit longer than the one before, 2. And this would be our third stroke, 3. So we have 1, 2, 3. Perfect. That's our te, te. And for to, the first stroke would be top to bottom, 1. And this would be our second stroke, 2, 1, 2. Perfect. So this is our T line. Ta, chi, tsu, te, to. Now let's move on to our N line, where we have na, ni, nu, ne, no. Na, ni, nu, ne, no. Na, ni, nu, ne, no. Very good. Now let's look at the stroke order. So for na, the first stroke is a horizontal stroke, left to right, 1. And the second stroke is top to bottom, 2. So we have 1, 2. Perfect. Second stroke, for ni, the first stroke would be 1. And the second stroke would be a bit longer, but also horizontal, 2. So we have 1, 2. Very easy. For nu, however, the first stroke would be like this. 1, 1. And second stroke would be 2, 2. So we have 1, 2. For ne, the first stroke is the top stroke. 1. The second stroke is 2. The third stroke is 3. And this is 4. So we have 1 top to bottom, 2, 3 top to bottom, 4. Amazing. And for no, we just have top to bottom, 1. Amazing. So here we have na, ni, nu, ne, no. Now let's move on to our H line, where we have ha, hi, fu, he, ho. Ha, hi, fu, he, ho. Ha, hi, fu, he, ho. So for the stroke order of ha, we have 1 and 2. 1 and 2. Very good. For he, our first stroke would be this one, left to right. 1. 1. And our second stroke would be this one, 2. So we have 1, 2. For fu, it's just one stroke, so it's very easy. 1, 1. For he, it's also only one stroke. 1, 1. And for ho, we have 4 strokes. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have horizontally going 1, vertically going 2. Then we have 3 and 4. So this is our H line. Ha, hi, fu, he, ho. And now let's move to our M line. So we have ma, mi, mu, me, mo. Ma, mi, mu, me, mo. Ma, mi, mu, me, mo. Okay, let's look at the stroke order of ma. So the first stroke is 1. 1. And the second stroke is 2. So we have 1, 2. Very good. For mi, we have 3 strokes. So we have 1, 2, 3. So we have 1 short, 2 short, and 3 is the longest one. 1, 2, 3, 10, 10, 10. Very good. Our third one, mu. So the first stroke would be this one. 1, 1, 2. Second stroke. First stroke, second stroke. 1, 2, 1, 2. Very good. Me. The first stroke would be 1, 2. First stroke, second stroke. First stroke, second stroke. This is me, me. And for mo, we have first stroke, second stroke, third stroke. First stroke, second stroke, third stroke. Mo, mo. So we have ma, mi, mu, me, mo. And that's our M line. Very good, guys. So now let's take a look at these 3 ones. So now let's take a look here. We have ya, yu, yo, ya, yu, yo, ya, yu, yo. Perfect. So the first stroke for ya would be this one, very sharp. 1, 1. And the second one would be top to bottom, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. And this one is a bit to the side, as you have noticed. Very good. So this is ya, ya. For you, we have 1. So this is our first stroke. 1. And 2 is this one, long one. 1, 2. This is you, you. And for yo, we have 3 strokes. So this is our first one. 1, 1, 2, 2. And this is 3, 3. So we have 1, 2, 3. Very good. Ya, yu, yo, ya, yu, yo. Now we are moving to our R line. So here we have ra, ri, ru, re, ro. Ra, ri, ru, re, ro. So the stroke order for ra, 1. This is our first one, horizontal stroke, 1. And our second stroke would be this one, 2. 2. And if you take a look here, the bottom part looks exactly like katakana fu, fu. Okay? So you have 1, and 2. Perfect. Now ri. So our first stroke is this one, 1, 1, and the second one is 2 with the curve. 1 and 2 with the curve. That's ri, ri. For ru, ru, the first stroke is this one, 1, 1, and the second one is 2, 2. Ru, ru. For re, we only have one stroke, which is 1, 1, 1. This is re, re. And for ro, we have 3 strokes. We have 1, 2, 3. So we're writing like a little square. We're making a square. So we have 1, 2, 3. And this is our ro, ro. So we have ra, ri, ru, re, ro. Ra, ri, ru, re, ro. Very good. Now we have 2 more. We have wa and n. Wa and n. So for wa, the stroke order would be like this. 1, 1 and 2. 1 and 2. 1 and 2. This is wa, wa. And for n, we have stroke 1. And number 2 would go up. 2. 1 and 2. So we have wa and Now, just like in Hiragana and Katakana, we also have the critical marks. So we have these two, 10, 10, 10, 10, and we have this one, a round one. And if you remember, these two diacritical marks, they help us to make new sounds without actually making new letters, you know? Let's take a look. So this is 10, 10, and its original name is Dakuten, 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 and this is a little circle, a little bubble, and its name is Handakuten, Handakuten. But you don't need to remember these ones because they're quite scientific, you know. So just remember how to write them and how to use them. So how to write them, you just do 10, 10, 2 little lines, and here you make a small bubble. Very good. Now, do you remember what letter is this? This is Hiragana, ka, ka. We add dakuten, it becomes ga, ga, and we write it on the right side, right? So it from ka, it becomes ga, ga. Now, if ka became ga when we use these diacritical marks, what would these, so ki, ku, ke, ko, into what sound would they turn? Let's think about it. I will give you 5 seconds. So yes, they would turn into gi, gi, gu, gu, ge, ge, and go, go. Very good. So we have ga, gi, gu, ge, go. Ga, gi, gu, ge, go. Now here we had sa, shi, su, se, so. But with diacritical marks, these sounds become za, za, ji, ji, z, z, ze, ze, zo, zo, za, ji, z, ze, zo. Very good. Now T line, ta, chi, tsu, de, to would become da, da, ji, ji, z, z, de, de, do, do. So it would become da, ji, z, de, do. Da, ji, z, de, do. For H line from ha, hi, fu, he, ho, they would become ba, bi, bu, be, bo. Ba, bi, bu, be, bo. So we have ba, bi, bu, bu, be, bo, bo. Very good. Now if we add that little circle, the H line would become pa, pi, pu, pe, po, pa, pi, pu, pe, po, pa, pi, pu, pe, po. Very good. Now, just like in Hiragana and Katakana, we also have contracted sounds with ya, yu, and yo. If you remember, we need to write these contracted sounds ya, yu, yo very small, very small. So if normal ya would be big like this, for contracted sounds, it would be half of a real letter, okay? Half the size. Let's take a look. So if we have katakana ki, and we add ya, please take a look at how this one is smaller than normal katakana letter. Together, if we put them, it becomes kya. So ki plus ya is not kia, it's kya. Very good. Now let's take a look at examples of contracted sounds in katakana. Kya, kyu, kyo, and with diacritical marks, gya, gu, gyo. So we have kya, kyu, kyo, gya, gu, gyo. Kya, kyu, kyo, gya, gu, gyo. Very good. Other contracted sounds, sha, shu, sho, and with diacritical marks, ja, ju, jo. So we have sha, shu, sho, ja, ju, jo. Sha, shu, sho, ja, ju, jo. Very good. Then we have cha, chu, cho, cha, chu, cho. Nya, nyu, nyo. Nya, nyu, nyo. So we have cha, chu, cho, nya, nyu, nyo. Cha, chu, cho, nya, nyu, nyo. And for our H line, we have hya, hu, hyo, bya, bu, byo, pya, pu, pyo. Hya, hu, hyo, bya, bu, byo, pya, pu, pyo. Great job. And mya, mu, myo, mya, mu, myo. Rya, ru, ryo, ra, ru, ryo. So we have mya, mu, myo, ra, ru, ryo. Mya, mu, myo, ra, ru, ryo. Very good. Now, just like in hiragana, in katakana as well, we have prolonged vowels. So let's take a look. When we have prolonged a, so let's say we have sound ka. If we want to make it sound double, in hiragana we would add an extra a. But in katakana, we add this line, and then we know that it's prolonged. So then we pronounce it as ka, ka, and it becomes double like this, and we can transcribe it like this. Ka, ka. Now for double E, E, in hiragana we would add an extra E, but in katakana, again, we add this long line. So if we have sound ki and we add this, it will sound ki, ki, like this, prolonged. For double U, we have sound su, so if we want to make it sound longer, we add this line and then it sounds like su, 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 like this. For double E, let's say we have ke, ke, we want to prolong it, we add this line and it sounds ke, 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 like this. And for double O, let's say we have bo, bo, we add this line, it sounds bo, bo, like this. So we have ka, ki, su, ke, bo. So we need to add this line to prolong our vowels. So now, just like hiragana, katakana also has double consonants, and when we were talking about hiragana, we added a small tsu, and we do the same thing with hiragana, and we do the same thing with katakana. We add a small tsu, but katakana tsu, the smiley face, okay, 1, 2, 3, to make the consonant coming after double. So let's take a look at this word, sakka, sakka, sakka. So because of the small tsu, K becomes double, and because of this prolonged line, we have a prolonged vowel, ka, so we have sakka. Very good. Take a look at this example, kappu, kappu. So P becomes double because we have a tsu in between, because we have tsu before, kappu. Now, kitchen, kitchen. We have small tsu before ch, ch, chi, so we have kitchen. Very good. So T becomes double, P becomes double, K becomes double, S becomes double, and chi becomes double. Okay, so all the consonants become double if we write small tsu before them. So now, because katakana is used to write down foreign words, sometimes we still have problems, for transcribing what is written. So sometimes we need to make special sounds in katakana to write down foreign words, okay? So these are katakana foreign sound combinations. Let's take a look. So we have u and small e next to it, and then we would say that it's we, like we. Then we have u and e, small e, so we, like this, we. Then we have u and o and wo, like this. She and e, she, ji and e, je, chi and e, che. So we have we, wo, she, je, che. We make these special sounds to write down foreign words. Again, we have fa, fi, fe, fo, fa, fi, fe, fo, and ti, di, do, ti, di, do, fa, fi, fe, fo, ti, di, do. So, sounds like this. Now let's practice. You will see a katakana letter on the screen, and I'll give you 5 seconds to think about it. What letter is this, okay? Let's go. Shi, tsu, hi, re, no, so, i, o, ささななははままゆゆろろわわんててじじずずぱぱぼぼぽぽでじじぞぞぜぜげげきょきょ So ki plus yo, kyo, kyo. Mya, mya. Mi plus ya, mya, mya. Myo, myo. Mi plus yo, myo, myo. Now, let's practice. Let's try to write down these words in katakana. Are you ready? If you need more time, feel free to pause this lesson here and take as much time as you need, okay? But right now, I will give you around 10 seconds. Let's go. Now, if you wrote down America, America, イギリス、イギリス、ウクライナ、ウクライナ、エレベータ、エレベータ、オーストラリア、オーストラリア. You are correct. So the first one is United States, second one is England, third one is Ukraine, fourth one is elevator, and the last one is Australia. Very good job. Now let's try to write down these combinations of these katakana letters, okay? I'll give you 5 seconds. If you want, you can pause it here as well. Let's go. Ao, ao, ai, ao, ao. Okay, next one. Ame, ame, ashi, ashi, asa, asa. Very good. Ie, ie, utta, utta, eki, eki, otto, otto. Very good. Kau, kau, kita, kita, kuma, kuma, keshiki, keshiki, koko, koko. Sakana, sakana, shika, shika, suika, suika, semi, semi, sora, sora. Take, take, chikai, chikai, tsuki, tsuki, te, te, tori, tori. Namae, namae, niwa, niwa, inu, inu, neko, neko, nori, nori. Hana, hana, hikoki, hikoki, fune, fune, hebi, hebi, hon, hon. 前、前、道、道、虫、虫、目、目、桃、桃。焼く、焼く、雪、雪、夜、夜。来年、来年。リス、リス。猿、猿。歴史、歴史。ろうそく、ろうそく、ろうそく。わかめ、わかめ。年、年。わかめ、年。お疲れ様です。You have worked so hard and you have finished learning Hiragana and Katakana, 2 out of 3 Japanese writing scripts. I am so proud of you and I can't wait to see you in our next lesson. Until then, please review what you have learned and get ready to learn even more new things together. おめでとうございます and I will see you in our next lesson. またね。皆さん、日本語コースへようこそ。Hello and welcome to your third lesson of this Japanese for Beginners course. This is your teacher Rosie and let's get started. So in today's lesson we will learn about greetings or 挨拶 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 in Japanese. So let's get started. The first one, you probably have heard of it in movies or in anime, and it means hello or good afternoon. So it will sound like this. こんにちは、こんにちは、こんにちは. And the most important thing here is that we have and ni. So we have double N. And please don't skip it because if you skip this N, then it will sound like this. こんにちは、こんにちは. But it's quite important for people to hear this part as well. So it's like こんにちは. Konnichiwa. Okay, very good. Let's move on to introducing ourselves. If we want to introduce ourselves, we could say like this. 私は this. 名前 means name. So here you can insert your name. I will use my name as an example, okay? 私はロージーです。私はロージーです。I am Rosie. So watashi. Watashi means I or me. Wa is a particle which defines our topic and we would translate this as for me, I am Rosie. And this means is or am. So one more time. Watashi wa Roji desu. Very good. Another way to introduce ourselves is to say 私の名前はロージーです。私の名前はロージーです。My name is. So 私の means my. 名前 means name. Here we insert our name into this 名前 in brackets and then this means is. So my name is. Let's try one more time. 私の名前はロージーです。You can try to say this sentence with inserting your name here. I will give you 5 seconds to try it. How did it go? Was it all good? Great. Then, let's move on. How can we ask, what's your name? What's your name? We would ask it like this. お名前は何ですか? 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 Very good. So 名前 means name. O is a honorific particle. So if we're talking about someone else's name, we're asking someone else's name, we want to make it sound very polite. So we add o before 名前. お名前は何ですか? Nan means what? This means is and ka is a question marker. So, what is your name? お名前は何ですか? Very good. Now, When we want to say nice to meet you, there are two ways in Japanese to say nice to meet you. Okay? So the first one is はじめまして。はじめまして。はじめまして。Very good. And the second one is よろしくお願いします。よろしくお願いします。よろしくお願いします。Although this one ends in su, we don't say お願いします. We say お願いします. So as if the u disappears, okay? So how these two nice to meet you are different? Well, はじめまして is the first word that we would say when we're meeting someone for the first time. We wouldn't say like, hello, good morning, good afternoon. We would say, はじめまして. Nice to meet you. はじめ means beginning, to start something in Japanese. So it means that we're starting something. We're meeting for the first time, okay? Very good. And after asking for someone's name, after replying what's our name, where we are from, at the very end we would say, よろしくお願いします. It's nice to meet you. Please treat me favorably. Okay? So はじめまして will go at the beginning of our introduction. And よろしくお願いします would go at the very end. Very good. Now, 練習. 練習 means practice. So the first thing we would say when we're meeting someone would be はじめまして. はじめまして. Now you can try. How did it go? Good. The second thing that we could say, お名前は何ですか? お名前は何ですか? What's your name? And the third thing would be introducing ourselves. 私の名前はリオです. 私の名前はリオです. My name is Rio. So here, let's take a look. When we say はじめまして, usually the other person will reply はじめまして as well. And then one of you will ask, お名前は何ですか? What's your name? And then the other person will reply and then ask the same question, お名前は何ですか? And then you will reply your name. 私の名前はリオです. Very good. Now, this is how this conversation would look like, okay? I will read the black dialogue and you will read the red one. So we will go like this. I will say this word and then you will say this one. I will say this one and you'll say this one. And then I'll say this one and you will say this one. Okay? Let's go. はじめまして。私はリオです。よろしくお願いします。Very good. So here I said nice to meet you. You said nice to meet you. I introduced myself without waiting for someone to ask for my name. And then you introduced yourself as well right away. And then I said nice to meet you again. And you said nice to meet you again. Very good. Do you want to try one more time? But this time you would be the black one. Alright. So you will begin and I will continue, okay? Let's go. はじめまして。私はたけしです。よろしくお願いします。Very good job. Alright. Let's move forward. Now, I will be black one and you will be red one. Okay? Let's try this out. はじめまして。私の名前はリオです。よろしくお願いします。お名前は何ですか? Very good. Now let's take a look at this dialogue. I said, nice to meet you. My name is Rio. nice to meet you again. And then you said, nice to meet you, okay? But then you didn't mention your name, and sometimes that happens if there are like many people, like 5 people meeting for the first time, So then I ask you, お名前は何ですか? What's your name? And then you reply to me, my name is Takahashi. Very good. Let's move on. How to say good morning in Japanese. So this is an informal way to say good morning. Ohayo, ohayo, ohayo. A more formal way of saying good morning is Ohayo gozaimasu, ohayo gozaimasu, ohayo gozaimasu. So we add gozaimasu to make it more formal. If we're saying ohayo gozaimasu, we can say it to anyone older than us, to people that we don't know so well. But ohayo, only this part, we can say only to people that are very close to us, our family members or friends, okay? So again, good afternoon. Konnichiwa, konnichiwa, konnichiwa. Good evening would be konbanwa, konbanwa, konbanwa. So although here this is hiragana ha, but sometimes we pronounce it as wa, wa. Good night in an informal way would be oyasumi, oyasumi, oyasumi. Good night in a formal way would be oyasumi nasai, oyasumi nasai, oyasumi nasai. Very good. Long time no see. Ohisashiburi desu. Ohisashiburi desu. So when we say it very fast, like ohisashiburi, but slowly it would sound like this. Ohisashiburi desu. So if you know someone really well, you can just say ohisashiburi. But if you don't know someone that well, or they're older than you or higher in status, you can say ohisashiburi desu. Ohisashiburi desu. Very good. Now, how would we ask, how are you? O genki desu ka? O genki desu ka? O genki desu ka? So genki in Japanese means healthy, energetic, full of energy. O is the honorific particle, and this means is, are, ka is a question marker. So how are you would be O genki desu ka? If you want to reply that you are fine or good, you can say genki desu, genki desu, genki desu, genki desu. And if you want to ask and you and yourself, you can insert the name here and then say san wa. So san is a prefix that we add after someone's name to make it more respectful, like Mr., Mrs., Mrs. Okay, so we always need to add it after someone else's name, and then wa. So let's say I want to ask, and how about Rio? I would say Rio-san wa, Rio-san wa. So I tell the person's name and then I add san and wa, because saying just and you would be very, very rude and impolite in Japanese. Alright, so now let's practice. Let's do renshu. I will be black and you will be red. Let's go. Ohisashiburi desu. Hai, genki desu. B-san wa? Very good. So what we talked about here, I said long time no see, and then you said long time no see, how are you? And then I replied, oh yes, I'm good. And you? So like B is like presumably someone's name, and then you replied, I'm good. Very good. Now let's switch roles. I will be red and you will be black, okay? Let's go. お久しぶり。お元気ですか? And now let's switch role. お久しぶりです。お元気ですか? 元気です。Very good. Now, how to say goodbye in Japanese. I know that a lot of people have heard this way of saying goodbye in movies and TV and etc. And how we pronounce it is sayonara, sayonara, sayonara. It means goodbye. But Japanese people wouldn't say this very often, like they wouldn't say it among friends or family members because sayonara, it sounds like you're not going to see someone ever again. It's like goodbye forever. So it's useful knowing it, but I wouldn't use it because it's a bit weird. Usually people say like bye bye, bye bye, like in the English way, right? Or the most commonly used phrases are see you later, and we have a lot of them. So see you can be じゃあね、じゃあね、じゃあね. So it's very informal. It's like among friends and you're like see you, じゃあね, or じゃあ. Now if you want to say to someone see you tomorrow, you can say また明日, また明日. Mata means again, 明日 means tomorrow. So また明日, see you tomorrow. Another way to say see you can be またね, またね, またね. And I really like using this one. And there's another one, see you later. And see you later would be また後でね, また後でね, また後でね. Ato means later, mata means again. So again later. また後でね means see you later. Very good. Now let's review what we have learned today. こんにちは。こんにちは。私はロージーです。私はロージーです。私の名前はロージーです。私の名前はロージーです。So here and here you can just insert your name when you're reviewing, okay? お名前は何ですか? お名前は何ですか? よろしくお願いします。よろしくお願いします。おはようございます。おはようございます。はじめまして。はじめまして。こんばんは。こんばんは。お久しぶりです。お久しぶりです。お元気ですか? お元気ですか? 元気です。元気です。さんはさんはさようなら。さようなら。バイバイ。バイバイ。またね。またね. Good job on your review. Now let's practice a little bit more. Okay, so I will be Gray and I will give you some time to ask me a question before I start replying my next answer, okay? So first of all, I will go here. はじめまして. Good. So if you reply to me はじめまして, that's very good. Now, what question would you ask? So I would reply like this. If you asked お名前は何ですか? お名前は何ですか? What's your name? That's perfect. And then I would reply 私の名前は花です。私の名前は花です。My name is Hannah. And then I would say よろしくお願いします。よろしくお願いします。And you can reply also よろしくお願いします。Very good. Now, let's practice like this. I will be red and you will be black. Let's go. はじめまして。 私は花です。お名前は何ですか？ゆいこさんですね。よろしくお願いします。Very good. Now let's analyze what we have talked about here. So I said nice to meet you and you replied as well, nice to meet you. Then I said 私は花です. I'm Hannah. お名前は何ですか? What's your name? And then you replied 私はゆいこです. I'm Yuiko. And then I replied ゆいこさんですね. Ah, you're Yuiko. Okay, so it's like me checking if I got their name right. And then I said よろしくお願いします. Nice to meet you. And you replied as well よろしくお願いします. Okay, let's try out this dialogue. I will be red and you will be black. Let's go. お久しぶり。元気です。ゆいこさんは？ Very good. So I said, oh, long time no see. And you said, oh, long time no see. How are you? And I said, oh, I'm good. And how about you, Yuiko? And you replied, oh, I'm good. お疲れ様です. You worked so hard and you have finished your lesson about greetings. So now you will be able to greet in Japanese. I'm so proud of you. おめでとうございます. Congratulations. And I will see you in our next lesson. またね. 皆さん、日本語コースへようこそ. Hello and welcome to your fourth lesson of this Japanese for Beginners course. This is your teacher Rosie and let's get started. So let's review what we have learned in our previous lesson. Review in Japanese is 復習, 復習, 復習. I will repeat every word twice. こんにちは、こんにちは。私はロジです。私はロジです。So right here where we have 名前 or empty space, you can just put your name, okay? 私の名前はロジです。私の名前はロジです。お名前は何ですか？お名前は何ですか？よろしくお願いします。よろしくお願いします。おはようございます。おはようございます。はじめまして。はじめまして。こんばんは。こんばんは。お元気ですか？お元気ですか？元気です。元気です。さんはさようなら、さようなら。バイバイ、バイバイ。またね、またね。Great job. And now let's start our new topic. So our new topic is manners. Let's get started. So the first word we will learn today is お願いします。お願いします。お願いします。So it means please. And what it literally means is I'll ask you to do me an honorable favor. I'm asking you to do something for me. 使い方。使い方。How to use it. So the first way to use it is when you ask someone else to do something for you or you are counting on them to do something, okay? So let's read this first sentence. ワインをお願いします。ワインをお願いします。So wine means wine. お願いします please. So you can say wine please and it would mean oh, could you please bring me wine? But this would be very, very, very polite. ワインをお願いします。Another way to use it could be もう一度お願いします。もう一度お願いします。One more time, please. So let's say you're talking to a native Japanese speaker and they're talking a bit too fast and you want them to repeat what they have just said. You can just say もう一度お願いします. One more time, please. Second way to use it, and you already know when, is when you're meeting someone for the first time and it translates as nice to meet you, or please be nice to me, or please treat me favorably. And it is よろしくお願いします. よろしくお願いします. So it comes with this よろしく. よろしくお願いします. Third way to use it is when someone says they're going to do something or help you in some way, and when you say お願いします, it's like, oh, please do that. That's so nice of you. So let's take a look at this example. 本当ですか?本当ですか?じゃあお願いします. じゃあお願いします. 本当 means really. 本当ですか? Really? じゃあ then お願いします. Please do that. So as you can see, there are so many ways to use this word お願いします, and it will be used every day in Japanese language. So I highly recommend using it. And another thing is that if you're working with Japanese people, using お願いします or よろしくお願いします will be very important, because it can also mean like thank you for your valuable time, or let's start working hard together. So it's a very, very important phrase. Moving on to ください. 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 Kudasai also means please, but please in a sense when you're asking for someone to give you something or do something for you. And then you need to use this particle o before the word kudasai. So we have o kudasai, o kudasai. Very good. Tsukaikata, tsukaikata. So the first way to use it is when you're asking for someone, please give me something or please do something for me. So you can say それをください. それをください. それ means that. So それをください, that please. So please give me that. Or お茶をください. お茶をください. Ocha means tea in Japanese. So tea please. Please give me tea. So this is the first way to use it, is when we use it with noun and o kudasai. Noun and o kudasai, please give me something. The second way to use it is when we will use it with a verb, and then we will use te form, which we will learn later on. So something, te kudasai. So it would mean please do something for me. The third word is dozo. 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 Here you go. So it's like please when you're giving someone something, like you're giving a gift and you're like dozo. Tsukaikata. Tsukaikata. So it's please when a person brings something that is yours. So for example, kore o dozo. Kore o dozo. So let's say someone has your coat and they're giving it to you, and they would say kore, this, dozo, this please. So they're giving it to you. Kore o dozo. Another common way to use dozo is kochira e dozo. Kochira e dozo. This way please. Kochira, this way. Kochira e dozo. Our next word is thank you in an informal way. Arigato, arigato, arigato. Very good. Thank you very much, or thank you in a formal way. Arigatou gozaimasu. Arigatou gozaimasu. Arigatou gozaimasu. Very good. Now, how would you say you're welcome in Japanese? どういたしまして。どういたしまして。どういたしまして。Very good. Another way to say you're welcome is like いえいえ。いえいえ. So いいえ, if alone by itself, means no. But if you repeat it twice, it will mean you're welcome. いえいえ. I'm sorry. ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。Excuse me, I'm sorry. すみません。すみません。すみません. So you use すみません when you want to get someone's attention and when you're like, oh, excuse me, can I ask you a question? And things like that. But the one before, ごめんなさい, would be used more commonly if you bump into someone. And すみません is a bit more formal. Another word that Japanese people use is いただきます。いただきます。いただきます. They say this before the meal. So it's like a ritual phrase which actually doesn't mean anything. But if you translate it, it would mean thank you for the meal before eating. いただきます. And after the meal, you would say ごちそうさま。ごちそうさま。ごちそうさま in an informal way, and in a more formal way you would sayごちそうさまでした。ごちそうさまでした。ごちそうさまでした. Thank you for the meal after eating. Now, let's try to practice. I will read to you some situations and try to guess which word would be used in these situations, okay? So the first one, you are walking in a store and accidentally nudge someone as you pass by. You say, すみません or ごめんなさい. ごめんなさい. So I think ごめんなさい would be more commonly used in this situation, because すみません is more like excuse me, sorry, but some people might use this one as well. Our second situation is, you are sitting in a restaurant and want some more water and you need to call over the waiter. You say, すみません。すみません。すみません. Yeah, you use すみません because it's like, oh, excuse me. Our third situation is, you are hungry and you eat your roommate's last homemade cookie, not knowing which she was saving it. You say, ごめん、ごめん or ごめんなさい、ごめんなさい. So ごめんなさいis I'm sorry, but a bit more formal. And ごめん is short version of ごめんなさい. So if you are very close to your roommate, you can say ごめん、ごめん. And if you're not as close, you can say ごめんなさい、ごめんなさい. And now let's learn some new vocabulary. So coffee in Japanese would be コーヒー、コーヒー、コーヒー. Water would be 水、水、水. Beer, ビール、ビール、ビール. Can you bring me something? Noun, をください. Noun, をください. So we will put the name of the thing that we want someone to bring for us, okay? Beer, water, or coffee, okay? So something をください. This is a very common way to ask for it. Okay, so now let's practice. How would you say, can you bring me beer? Think about it. I will give you 5 seconds. Beerをください. Beerをください. Beer, please. Please bring me beer. Very good. How could we ask, can you bring me water? 水をください. 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 Water, please. Can you bring me coffee? コーヒーをください. 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 Coffee, please. Very good. お疲れ様です. You have worked so hard and you have finished another lesson of this Japanese for Beginners course. おめでとうございます. And I will see you in our next lesson. またね. Minasan, Nihongo koso e yokoso. Hello and welcome to our 5th lesson of this Japanese for Beginners course. This is your teacher Rosie, and let's get started. So first of all, let's review what we have learned in our previous lesson. And review in Japanese is fukushu, fukushu, fukushu. I will repeat every word twice. Let's go. Onegai shimasu, onegai shimasu. Kudasai, kudasai. Dozo, dozo. Arigatou, arigatou. Arigatou gozaimasu, arigatou gozaimasu. Dou itashimashite, dou itashimashite. Iie iie, iie iie. ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。すみません。すみません。いただきます。いただきます。ごちそうさまでした。ごちそうさまでした。Great job! And today we will learn about numbers or 数字。数字 in Japanese. 1 1 1 1 2 2 2 2 3 3 3 3 4 4 4 4. I wrote down other 2 readings, yo and shi, just so you would keep them in mind because we will use them in the future. 5 5 5 5 6 6 6 6 7 7 7 7 8 8 8 8 9 9 9 9 10 10 10 10 11. So here we will write 10 and we will add 1 afterwards. So we will say 11. So 10, 1. 11, 11. 12. Also the same. 12, 12, 12. 13, 13, 13, 13. 14, 14, 14, 14. 15, 15, 15, 15. 16, 16, 16, 16. 17 17 17 17 18 18 18 18 19 19 19 19 20 20 20 20. So when we're doing 20, 30, 40, we need to add 2, 3, 4 in front of the 10, okay? 21 21 21 22 22 22 23 23 23 24 24 24 25 25 25 26 26 26 27 27 27 28 28 28 29 29 29. Now, if we want to continue with 30, it would be exactly the same. So we would add 3 in front of the 10, and then it would be 30, 30. And then afterwards, to 30, we just add 1, 2, 3. So 31, 32, 33, and etc. Same thing goes with 40. 40, 41 would be 41, 42 would be 42, 50, 50, 51 would be 51, 52, 52, and etc. 60, 60, 61, 61, 62, 62. 70, 70, 71, 71, 72, 72, and etc. 80, 80, 81, 81, 82, 82. 90, 90, 91, 91, 92, 92. 100, 100, 100, 100. So I want to pay your attention here to this. We have he and ya. So it's ya, 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 100. Okay? So 100 is 100. 200, 200, 200, 200. 300, 300, 300, 300. 400, 400, 400. So I want to pay attention here to B because it turns into B. So it's not 300 but 300. Bia, bia, 300. Very good. 400, 400, 400, 400. 500, 500, 500, 500. 600, 600, 600, 600. So here another exception, it becomes P, 600, 600. 700, 700, 700, 700. 800, 800, 800, 800. So here we have not only P but also small tsu, 800. So P becomes double, 800. 900, 900, 900, 900. Very good. And now 1000 is sen, 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 or isen, isen, isen. 2000, nisen, nisen, nisen. 3,000, sanzen, sanzen, sanzen. It's an exception here with the Z. 4,000, yonsen, yonsen, yonsen. 5,000, gosen, gosen, gosen. 6,000, rokusen, rokusen, rokusen. 7,000, nanasen, nanasen, nanasen. 8,000, hassen, hassen, hassen. So we have an exception here with small t and s, hassen. 9,000, 9,000, 9,000, 9,000. And 10,000 would be ichiman, ichiman. So man means 10,000. So 10,000 would be ichiman. And then we just need to add number here. How many 10,000s? And then we say man, man. Now let's practice. You see a number on the screen and please try to think of it in Japanese. How would you say it in Japanese, okay? I will give you 10 seconds to think about it, okay? Okay, so let's go. 24. 24, 24. Very good. 18. 18, 18, 18. Very good. So we have 10 and 8. 39. 39, 39, 39. So we have 3, 10 and 9. 39. 100. 100, 100, 100. 324. 324, 324. So we have 300, 2, 10, 4, 24. 324. Very good. 610. 610, 610. So 600 is our exception. 600, 600, 10. 850. 850, 850. So 800, 800. Go 5, 10. Very good. So 800 is our exception. 850. 3,000. 3,000, 3,000, 3,000. This is our exception with zen. 8,600. 8,600, 8,600, 8,000, 8,000 with exception. 600, 600 also exception. 101. 101, 101. 10,800. 18,800, 18,800. 20,000. 2,000, 2,000. So we have 2 10,000s. So 2,000, 20,000. 7. 7, 7. 4. 4, 14 14 14 14 17 17 17 70 70 70 54 54 54 very good job 13 13 13 240 240 240 890 890 890 431 431 431 very good 9 9 66 66 66 91 91 91 25 25 25 76 76 76 Now, if you feel the need to practice again, feel free to Now, if you feel like you need to practice again, feel free to go back to the beginning and practice those numbers again. But so far, you have worked so hard. Otsukare-sama desu. You have learned a lot of new numbers, so you will be able to do so many things when you know numbers. Omedetou gozaimasu. Congratulations, and I will see you in our next lesson. Mata ne. 皆さん、日本語コースへようこそ Hello and welcome to your 6th lesson of this Japanese for Beginners course. This is your teacher Rosie and I'm so excited about this lesson. You might ask why, because in this lesson we will learn new grammar and we will learn a ton of new vocabulary. So without further ado, let's get started. If you feel the need to review what we have learned in our previous lesson, feel free to go back and review it, but now we will start learning about grammar. And grammar in Japanese is bunpo, bunpo, bunpo. Very good. The first thing that we will learn today is particle wa. So as you can see, we write it as hiragana ha, but we pronounce it as a particle as wa, wa. Very good. So what is particle wa? Particle wa is a topic marker. So it indicates the topic of our conversation. It indicates what the conversation is about. So we can translate it as for, and wa is usually put after a noun. Let's take a look. So here you can see an empty sentence with 2 empty circles. Something wa, something this. This means is, are, am, in general, to be. So something wa, as for something, it is something. So here we can put a noun, someone's name, an object, anything you want. And here we can put noun, adjective, and etc. Let's take a look at example sentence. Watashi wa gakusei desu. Watashi wa gakusei desu. Watashi wa gakusei desu. Watashi means I or me. Gakusei means student. Although we write it as gakusei, we pronounce it as gakusei, gakusei, as if the u from ku disappears. So, As for me, 私は as for me, I am a student. Or I am a student. Very good. Another example sentence. これは野菜です。これは野菜です。これは野菜です。これ means this right here. So これは as for this. 野菜 means vegetable or vegetables. Is a vegetable. So this is a vegetable. Very good. Now, how to make a question in Japanese. So first, let's take a look at the sentence what we have just analyzed. これは野菜です。これは野菜です。As for this, it's a vegetable. So this is a vegetable. Now, what we need to do if we want to make a question, we need to empty the space after wa. So we need to take out our object. So yasai, we take it out. And we need to add an empty space after this. Now, why do we do this? Because instead of this first empty space, we put the word nan. Nan means what in Japanese? So, これは何ですか? Ka is a question marker that we put at the end of the sentence. When you see ka, you know it's a question. So, これは何ですか? As for this, what is it? So, what is this? That's how we make our question. And if you want to give an answer, instead of nan, you put your answer here. So, let's say yasai. And you just remove ka. So we just leave this. And the answer would sound like this. これは野菜です. This is a vegetable. Very good. Now, again, let's take a look at the sentence. これは何ですか? So, ka indicates a question. This is very important because when we will be learning how to make questions, we will always need ka. And nan, we will also use it very often in sentences and questions. Nan, what? Perfect. And now let's learn Japanese words for this, that, and that over there. Okay? So this would be kore, kore, kore. That would be sore, sore, sore. And that over there would be are, are, are. Very good. So we use kore, kore, when we don't actually say this wallet, this house, this flower, when we don't name the object, okay? So we just want to say this, okay? So if I have a wallet next to me, I would just say kore, kore, this. However, I could also use it in a sentence like this. Kore wa, as for this is a wallet. Saifu desu, saifu desu. Okay? But you couldn't say kore saifu, this wallet. It wouldn't be logical in Japanese because there's another word to use it like that, okay? So now, let's start off with this. Kore, kore, kore. Now, we use this word when we are talking about an object that is next to the speaker. Okay? So let's imagine we are the speaker, like you are the speaker or I am the speaker, and this wallet is next to me. So I would say kore, kore, this. And if I would want to say this is a wallet, I would say kore wa saifu desu. Kore wa saifu desu. But I couldn't use it as this wallet. Okay, keep it in mind. Very good. Now we have our second word, sore, sore. So we are the speaker and we are here, and the listener or our partner is here. And so the object that is next to her for us would be sore, sore, that. So it's a little bit far away from us, but not so far away. So it would be sore, sore, that. And if we would want to say that is a wallet, we would say それは財布です。それは財布です。That is a wallet. Okay, very good. Now, are is that over there. So it means it's far away both from the speaker and the listener. So we are here and the wallet is over there. And we would say, あれは that over there. And if we would want to say that over there is a wallet, we would say, あれは財布です。あれは財布です。Very good. And now let's learn a Japanese word for this, that, and that over there when we're using it together with a noun. What do I mean together with a noun? When we want to say this wallet, that over there. Because before we learned this, that over there for saying just this, that, without the noun. And now when we want to name it very clearly, we will use these words. Kono, kono, sono, sono, ano, ano. So again, let's imagine that you are the speaker here. The wallet is next to you and you want to say this wallet. You would say, この財布、この財布、この財布. Very good. Now let's say the wallet is next to your friend, to the listener. For you, it would be that wallet. Right here, right? その財布、その財布、その財布. Amazing. And that wallet over there, far away from both of you, would be あの財布、あの財布、あの財布. That wallet over there. Perfect. Now, if we want to ask which one, we need to use the word どの、どの、どの. So let's say we have 3 wallets and we want to ask which one. Then we would say どの財布ですか? どの財布ですか? Don't know which one. Then we name the object, wallet. Is it? So which wallet is it? Which one? Very good. Now we also have words here, there, and over there. So let's imagine you are right here and the house is here. You would say here, ここ, ここ. And if you want to say it's here, like right here, you can say ここです, ここです by adding is, are, ここです. Now over there, now there would be そこ, 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 そこです. So again, it depends on the distance that you are away from the place. So you are here, the listener is here, so then it would be そこ, そこ. And if you're both far away from the place and it's really far away, you would say あそこ, 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 あそこ. And you can ask, is it over there? Then you can say あそこですか? あそこですか? Is it over there? And if you want to ask where is something, the word is どこ, どこ, どこ. Where? So どこですか? どこですか? Where is it? どこですか? And now, let's start learning new vocabulary. So food in Japanese is 食べ物, 食べ物, 食べ物. Tabe is a part of the word to eat and mono is a thing. So tabemono means edible things. Tabemono. Bread, pan, pan, pan. Rice, kome, kome, kome. I need to pay attention here that kome is uncooked rice. We have another word for cooked rice. And our word for cooked rice is gohan, gohan, gohan. Egg in Japanese is tamago, tamago, tamago. Meat is niku, niku, niku. Pork is butaniku, butaniku, butaniku. Buta means pig and niku means meat. So pork is butaniku. Toriniku, toriniku, toriniku. Chicken. So tori is bird and niku is meat. So toriniku. Gyuniku, gyuniku, gyuniku. Beef. Fish. Sakana, sakana, sakana. Vegetables. Yasai, yasai, yasai. Lettuce. Retasu, retasu, retasu. Onion. Tamanegi, tamanegi, tamanegi. Garlic. Garlic, garlic, garlic. Pepper, as in spices. Kosho, kosho, kosho. Carrot. Ninjin, ninjin, ninjin. Tomato. Tomato, tomato, tomato. Fruit. Kudamono, kudamono, kudamono. Apple. Ringo, ringo, ringo. Banana. Banana, banana, banana. Watermelon. Suika, suika, suika. Strawberry. Ichigo, ichigo, ichigo. Grapes. Budo, budo, budo. Drink. Nomimono, nomimono, nomimono. Nomi is a part of the verb to drink and mono is thing. So drinkable thing is a drink. Nomimono. Milk can be said in two different ways. The first one is gyunyu, gyunyu, gyunyu. Second one is milk, milk, milk. Tea is ocha, ocha, ocha. Sugar. Sato, sato, sato. Honey. Hachimitsu, hachimitsu, hachimitsu. And now I will ask you some questions and we will practice together. So I will ask you what is it and you will see something on the screen. As you can see now, some vegetables, and you will need to reply to me in Japanese, okay? So do you remember? If we have a question, これは何ですか? When we're giving the answer, we need to remove ka and instead of na, put our answer, okay? So I will give you 5 seconds to answer. So I will give you 5 seconds to answer each question. If you feel like you need more time, feel free to pause this lesson, okay? To take your time to think, no rush. So I will ask you the question now. これは何ですか? これは何ですか? これは野菜です。これは野菜です。So as for this, it's vegetables. Yasai, yasai, vegetables. So these are vegetables. これは何ですか? これは何ですか? これは果物です。これは果物です。These are fruit. これは何ですかこれは何ですかこれはお茶です。これはお茶です。It's tea. これは何ですかこれは何ですかこれはぶどうです。これはぶどうです。It's grapes. これは何ですかこれは何ですかこれはスイカです。これはスイカです。It's watermelon. And now I want to teach you another thing. So how to say I want something when we're talking about a noun. So it's not like I want to do something, but I want something. Like I want, I don't know, strawberries, I want watermelon, I want tea, okay? So something, a noun here, が欲しいです。が欲しいです。欲しい means to want. 欲しいです。Okay, so let's try to think. Okay, but before we start making our sentences, I need to tell you one thing. This way of saying I want something is very, very direct, so it might not be considered very polite. So you might use it among your friends or family members when you want to say something very directly. But Japanese people, when they're with people that they're not very close with, they wouldn't say this. People would think this is a bit childish way of saying I want something, but for beginner learners, this is totally okay. Okay. So if I want to say I want bread, I would say パンが欲しいです。パンが欲しいです。I want bread. And another way, but a more polite way of saying I want something is something をください。something をください。So something please or something をお願いします。something をお願いします。So をください and をお願いします。If we're looking at levels of politeness, をください would be less polite, but this is already very polite. But をお願いします is like begging someone in a very, very polite way. So let's take a look. If I want to say I want milk, I can say 牛乳をください。牛乳をください。Nice. And now let's practice. So we see a girl, a speaker, and we see a flower next to her, okay? And we want to say, this is a flower. This is a flower. What word would we use here in Japanese? Do you remember we learned kore, kono, koko? One of these words. But pay attention that here I just want to say this. This. This is a flower. I don't want to say this flower. I just want to say this is a flower. So if you feel like you need more time to think, feel free to pause this lesson here. But I will give you 5 seconds to think about the answer, okay? Let's go. これは花です。これは花です。So 花 is a flower. And we would use word これ, これ, because これ means this. So これは as for this, this is a flower. Very good. And now we have a listener here. So the flower is next to the listener. What word would we use to describe that? That. That is a flower. Let's think about it. それは花です。それは花です。So that, as for that, that is a flower. Very good. And last one, the flower is far away from both the speaker and the listener. How would we say that over there is a flower? あれは花です。あれは花です。Very good job. And now we want to name particularly the object. So we want to say this wallet. Okay, so it's next to the girl, so we want to say this wallet. What word would we use here? この財布 this wallet. Very good. So when we use it with a noun like this, we need the word kono. Okay, and now the wallet is next to the listener, so what word would we use here? その財布 Very good. And lastly, the wallet is far away from both the speaker and the listener, and we want to say that wallet over there. What word would we use here? あの財布 Very good. And now, I will ask you a question. どこですか? Where is it? So we have a camera, yeah? And we want to say it's here, it's there, or it's over there. So if the camera is next to the speaker, what word would we use to describe its location? ここです It's here. Very good. Now, if the camera is next to the listener, what word would we use here? どこですか? そこです Very good. And if it's far away from both of them and we want to say it's over there, what word would we use here? あそこです Great job. And now I will ask you what is it, and I will give you 5 seconds to answer what is it in Japanese. Okay, let's go. これは何ですか? これは何ですか? これはパンです It's bread. これは何ですか? これは何ですか? これは人参です It's carrots. これは何ですか? これは何ですか? これは卵です It's an egg. これは何ですか? これは何ですか? これは魚です It's fish. これは何ですか? これは何ですか? これはトマトです It's a tomato. これは何ですか? これは何ですか? これはリンゴです It's an apple. これは何ですか? これは何ですか? これはバナナです It's bananas. これは何ですか? これは何ですか? これはぶどうです It's grapes. これは何ですか? これは何ですか? これはいちごです It's a strawberry. これは何ですか? これは何ですか? これは玉ねぎです It's an onion. お疲れ様です You have worked so hard and you have finished yet another lesson of this course. I'm very, very proud of you. おめでとうございます Congratulations, and I will see you in our next lesson. またね。皆さん、日本語コースへようこそ。Hello and welcome to your 7th lesson of this Japanese for Beginners course. This is your teacher Rosie. Now let's review what we have learned in our previous lesson. I will repeat every word twice as always. Let's go. これ、それ、 それ、あれ、あれ、この、この、その、その、あの、あの、ここ、ここ、そこ、そこ、あそこ、あそこ、どこ、どこ、食べ物、食べ物、パン、パン、米、米、卵、卵、肉、肉、豚肉、豚肉、鶏肉、鶏肉、牛肉、牛肉、魚、魚、野菜、野菜、レタス、レタス、玉ねぎ、玉ねぎ、ガーリック、ガーリック、胡椒、胡椒、人参、人参、トマト、トマト、果物、果物、リンゴ、リンゴ、バナナ、バナナ、スイカ、スイカ、いちご、いちご、ぶどう、ぶどう、飲み物、飲み物、牛乳、牛乳、お茶、お茶、砂糖、砂糖、はちみつ、はちみつ。So in today's lesson, we will learn everything about the time, or as we call it in Japanese, 時間、時間、時間. Okay, so let's get started. So how do we ask in Japanese, what time is it now? Let's read this sentence. すみません、今何時ですか？すみません、今何時ですか？ So すみません, as you already know, is excuse me, sorry. 今 means now in Japanese. 今. Nan means what. Ji means hour. Desu ka? So des means is. Ka indicates a question. So, excuse me, now, what hour is it? So, what hour is it? What time is it? Very good. すみません、今何時ですか? And now, let's learn how to call hours in Japanese. So, hour is ji, ji, ji. So, it can be hour or o'clock. And then, before ji, before hour, we need to add a number. What hour is it, okay? So, if we want to say it's 1 o'clock, we would say ichiji, ichiji, ichiji. Very good. 2 o'clock would be niji, niji, niji. 3 o'clock would be sanji, sanji, sanji. 4 o'clock would be yoji, yoji, yoji. Pay attention here that it's not yon, it's not she, but it's yo, yo, yoji. Very good. 5 o'clock would be goji, goji, goji. So we have ichiji, niji, sanji, yoji, goji. Very good. Now let's take a look at hours from 6 to 10 o'clock. So 6 o'clock would be rokuji, rokuji, rokuji. 7 o'clock would be shichiji, shichiji, shichiji. 8 o'clock would be hachiji, hachiji, hachiji. 9 o'clock would be kuji, kuji, kuji. And 10 o'clock would be juji, juji. So let's take a look at 7 o'clock. Keep in mind that it's shichi, shichiji, not nanaji. Okay? And take a look at 9. It's not Q, but it's ku, kuji, kuji. So we have rokuji, shichiji, hachiji, kuji, juji. Very good. And 11 o'clock would be juichiji, juichiji, juichiji. And 12 o'clock would be juniji, juniji. So we have juichiji and juniji. Perfect. Now another thing that we need to learn is how to say AM, PM, and half past in Japanese. So AM in Japanese would be gozen, gozen, gozen. And PM would be gogo, gogo, gogo. And half past would be han, han, han. And han literally means half. It can also mean half of something. Now we have learned hours. Let's take a look at minutes. So 1 minute in Japanese would be ippun, ippun, ippun. Take a look here that we have a small tsu, so it makes the p coming after double. Ippun. Very good. And minutes in Japanese will be pun or fun. So let's take a look at how it will change depending on the minute. So 1 minute would be ippun, but 2 minutes would be nifun, nifun, nifun. We have fun, fun here. 3 minutes would be sanpun, sanpun, sanpun. 4 minutes would be yonpun, yonpun, yonpun. 5 minutes would be gofun, gofun, gofun. 6 minutes would be roppun, roppun, roppun. Take a look here. Again, we have small tsu. It makes the p coming after double. Roppun. 7 minutes would be nanafun, nanafun, nanafun. 8 minutes can be happun, happun, or hachifun, hachifun, depending on the context, but I think the first one is used more commonly, happun, with the small tsu here. 9 minutes would be kyufun, kyufun, kyufun. 10 minutes could be juppun, juppun, or jippun, jippun. But the first one is more commonly used, juppun. Take a look here. Here we have ju, contracted sounds. And after the contracted sounds, we have small tsu and then pun. So it's juppun. And here also we have ji. And after ji, small tsu, jippun. 11 minutes would be ju-ippun, ju-ippun, ju-ippun. 12 minutes would be ju-nifun, ju-nifun, ju-nifun. 13 minutes would be ju-sanpun, ju-sanpun, ju-sanpun. 14 minutes would be ju-yonpun, ju-yonpun, ju-yonpun. 15 minutes would be ju-gofun, ju-gofun, ju-gofun. 16 minutes would be ju-roppun, ju-roppun, ju-roppun. 17 minutes, ju-nanafun, ju-nanafun, ju-nanafun. 18 minutes could be said in two different ways, in ju-happun, 18分 or 18分 18分 19 minutes 19分19分 20 minutes 20分20分 or 20分20分 13 minutes 30 minutes 30分30分 or 30分30分 Now, there is order of telling the time in Japanese, while in English, when we're saying the time, we usually say 6 p.m., 6 a.m. So a.m., p.m. goes after the hour. However, in Japanese, it's the opposite. Firstly, we would need to say, is it a.m. or p.m.? Then we would need to say the number plus the hour word, ji, so o'clock. And then lastly, we would tell the minutes, or if it's half past, okay? So we have AM, PM, number plus hour word, and then minutes or half past. So let's practice. I will ask you, what time is it now? Ima nanji desu ka? And you will see time written here on the screen. And I will give you 10 seconds to think about it and tell me the answer. If you feel like you need more time, feel free to pause this lesson here and take your time to think. There's no rush, okay? Let's get started. Ima nanji desu ka? Ima nanji desu ka? Gogo 1時半です。Gogo 1時半です。So first of all, we would say gogo, p.m. Then we would say ichi, 1, ji, so 1 o'clock, okay? And then, only then, we would say half past, han. So we would say it like this. Gogo 1時半です。Gogo 1時半です。It's 1:30 now. 今何時ですか？今何時ですか？午前7時半です。午前7時半です。It's 7:30 a.m. So first we would say a.m. 午前 then 7時 7 o'clock and then han half past. Very good. Next one. 今何時ですか？6時36分です。6時36分です。Very good. 今何時ですか？午前4時です。午前4時です。午前 a.m. 4時4 o'clock. Very good. 今何時ですか？午後9時半です。午後9時半です。今何時ですか？今何時ですか？午前8時19分です。午前8時19分です。午前 a.m. 8時8 o'clock. 19 19 分 minutes. And then this would mean is. Very good. Even more practice. 今何時ですか？4時半です。4時半です。Very good. 今何時ですか？9時です。9時です。Very good. 今何時ですか？7時半です。7時半です。7:30. Very good. 今何時ですか 4時25分です。4時25分です。今何時ですか？3時15分です。3時15分です。今何時ですか？4時10分です。4時10分です。Perfect. 今何時ですか？8時15分です。8時15分です。Nice. 今何時ですか？12時半です。12時半です。お疲れ様です。You have worked so hard and you have finished a very important lesson. Now you will learn how to tell the time in Japanese. So, おめでとうございます。And I will see you in our next lesson. またね。皆さん、日本語コースへようこそ Hello and welcome to your 8th lesson of his Japanese for Beginners course. This is your teacher Rosie again, and I'm so excited to learn even more new things with you today. So if you feel the need to review what we have learned in our previous lesson, please go back and review it. But today, let's start learning new things right away. So today we will learn how to ask for someone's age. How old are you, right? So let's take a look at the first question. 何歳ですか？何歳ですか？何, what, 歳, years for age, for years old when we're talking about someone's age. And this means is, rm, and ka question marker. So, 何歳ですか？何歳ですか is a very common question to ask for someone's age. Now, what I didn't know when I went and started living in Japan is that there's one more way to ask for someone's age, and usually when someone asks me for my age, they asked in the second way, and the second way sounds like this. おいくつですか？おいくつですか? It also means how old are you is just another way to ask it. So keep this one in mind as well, okay? 何歳ですか? and おいくつですか? Very good. Now, let's learn how to say years for age from 1 to 10, okay? Because it will not always be like 1, 2, 3. There will be some exceptions. So let's get started. 1歳 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 1 years old. 2歳 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 2 years old. 3歳 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 3 years old. 4歳 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 4 years old. 5歳 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 5 years old. 6歳 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 6 years old. 7歳 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 7 years old. And our second exception is 8歳 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 8 years old. 9歳 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 9 years old. And for 10 years old, there are 2 ways to say it. The first one is 10歳 10歳 10歳. And the second way is 10歳 10歳 10歳. Pay attention here that here we have these small tsu that make the consonant coming afterwards sound double. And the same goes for 8歳 and 1歳. Very good. Now for 11 years old, it would be 11歳 11歳. And afterwards, we would just add a number to number 10. And another exception is 20. So if you want to say you're 20 years old, you would say 20歳 20歳です. hatachi. Now if we're talking about 30, 40, 50, we just add 3, 4, 5, whatever, in front of number 10. So it would look like this. 30. So 30 years old would be 30 sai, 30 sai. 40 years old would be 40 sai, 40 sai. So 4, 10, and years old. 40 sai. Now, I'll ask you a question. 何歳ですか? 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 How old are you? And you can reply in two ways. The first way is 私は歳です. So let's say I would want to say I'm 25. 私は25歳です. 私は25歳です. Or you can just reply like this. 25歳です. 25歳です. So now, can you try to answer this question by yourself? I will give you 5 seconds to answer this question. 何歳ですか? How did it go? Was it all good? Okay, now we can move forward. And now we will learn months in Japanese. Let's start off from January. 1月 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 February 2月 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 March 3月 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 April 4月 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 May 5月 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 So month in Japanese is called gatsu. Gatsu. Very good. And as you can see, we have an exception with April. So as you can see, we have an exception with April. It's not yongatsu, it's not yogatsu, it's shigatsu. Shigatsu. Very good. So we have 1月 2月 3月 4月 5月 Now let's take a look at other 6 months from June. 6月 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 July 7月 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 August 8月 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 September 9月 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 October 10月 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 So from all of those 6 months, we have 2 exceptions with July, where it's not nana, but it's 7月 7月 and with September, where it's not Q, but it's 9月 9月 Very good. So we have 6月 7月 8月 9月 10月 Very good. Let's take a look at the last 2 months. So November will be 11月 11月 and December will be 12月 12月 Very good. Now let's learn days of the month from the first day to the 10th day. So we do not say like ichi, nichi, ni nichi, san nichi, because that wouldn't make sense. Days of the month in Japanese have specific names for them from the first day to the 10th day, okay? So let's start off with the first day. 1日 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 The second day would be 2日 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 The third day would be 3日 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 with a small tsu right here. So that's why the consonant coming after becomes double. 3日 And the same goes for the fourth day, where it's 4日 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 We have a small tsu again. And the fifth day would be 5日 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 The sixth day would be 6日 muika, muika. The 7th day would be nanoka, nanoka, nanoka. The 8th day would be yoka, yoka, yoka. 9th day would be kokonoka, kokonoka, kokonoka. And the 10th day would be toka, toka. Very good. So I know that it might be difficult to memorize all of the names of these 10 days. So what you can do, you can make a short rhyme to memorize it easier, or you can try to say them very, very fast. Alright, so what I did, I made like a short rhyme to memorize them faster. And I want to share it with you. Maybe it will help you out as well. So it would be like this. 1日、2日、3日、4日、5日、6日、7日、8日、9日、10日. And then you try to do it as fast as you can. So like 1日、2日、3日、4日、5日、6日、7日、8日、9日、10日. Well, I hope it will help you out. And if not, maybe you will find your own way to memorize these days of the month. And now let's take a look at other days of the month. So when we move from 10, we move to 11th. And from 11th, it will be easier because we don't need to memorize special names. It will be just normal numbers, 11, 12, 13, etc. And then we will need to add nichi, nichi. So nichi is the Japanese word for day. So we will say 11, 11, and then nichi, day. And then it will be 11th day, and etc. So let's take a look. So 11th day would be 11 nichi. 11日. 12th day would be 12日. 12日. 13th day would be 13日. 13日. 14th day would be 14日. 14日. So this yokka comes from the last 10 days that we learned before. Okay, 14日. 15th day would be 15日. 15日. 16th day would be 16日. 16日. 17th day would be 17日. 17日. 18th day would be 18日. 18日. 19th day would be 19日. 19日. And the 20th day would be 20日. 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 So only for the 20th day would we use 20日. When we will be talking about 21, 22, then we would use 20 again. So now, how do we ask when is your birthday? So first we need to know the word for birthday. The word birthday in Japanese is 誕生日. 誕生日. And if we want to ask when is your birthday, we would ask お誕生日はいつですか? お誕生日はいつですか? We add o, and I marked it in red because it's like a honorific, that it makes 誕生日, it makes birthday sound more polite because we're talking about someone else's birthday. Very good. So before we learn how to talk about our own birthday, we need to learn a very important particle, particle no. Particle no is a possessive particle. It's pronounced as no, no, and it shows that something belongs to someone. Okay, so let's take a look at the first example. We have watashi no, watashi no. So we already know that watashi means I or me. If we add no to watashi, it becomes my or mine. Watashi no, watashi no. If we take a look at the second example, we have anata, anata no. Anata in Japanese means you. And if we want to say yours, we would say anata no, anata no. Then let's take a look at this one. We have watashi tachi no, watashi tachi no. So watashi tachi in Japanese means us. And if we say watashi tachi no, then it would mean our. And the last one, if we want to say that Rio's, we have a girl named Rio, we would say it like this. Rio-san no kaban. Okay, so it would be Rio's bag. Ryo's bag. So don't forget to add san to someone's name to make it sound polite. Ryo-san no. Now, the way we would reply to the question, お誕生日はいつですか? When is your birthday? Is the way it is written here in this sentence. 私の誕生日は月です. So, 月, so this is the number of the month, and then this is the day. So you can make a long answer like this. For example, I can say that my birthday is on the 1st of December. I would reply like this. 私の誕生日は12月1日です。12月1日です。December, and then 1st, 1日. Or I can skip this part, 私の誕生日は, and just say the month and the day. So here I would say 12月1日です. And that makes my answer way shorter. Okay, now let's practice. I would like you to tell me when is your birthday. So I will ask you when is your birthday and I will give you 5 seconds to reply. Okay, let's go. お誕生日はいつですか? How did it go? Was it good? Alright, then let's move forward. Here we have an example. 12月1日です。12月1日です。1st of December. Alright. And now I would like us to check here. 1月2日です。1月2日です。Which month and which day would it be? I will give you 5 seconds to think of the answer, okay? 1月2日です。So it's 2nd of January. Very good. 2月6日です。2月6日です。3rd of February. Very good. 3月7日です。3月7日です。7th of March. 4月8日です。4月8日です。8th of April. Very good. Our next one. 5月9日です。5月9日です。9th of May. 7月11日です。7月11日です。11th of July. 8月1日です。8月1日です。1st of August. Very good. 9月30日です。9月30日です。30th of September. 10月20日です。10月20日です。20th of October. Very good. 11月です。11月です。November. Perfect. And now let's learn days of the week from Monday to Sunday. So let's take a look. The part that will always repeat itself will be yobi, yobi, yobi. So yo means week, bi means day. So day of the week, okay? And the only thing that will change will be the beginning of the word, okay? So let's start from Monday. 月曜日、月曜日、月曜日。Tuesday. 火曜日、火曜日、火曜日。Wednesday. 水曜日、水曜日、水曜日。Thursday. 木曜日、木曜日、 木曜日 Friday 金曜日金曜日金曜日 Saturday 土曜日土曜日土曜日 Sunday 日曜日日曜日日曜日 Very good. So we have 月曜日火曜日水曜日木曜日金曜日土曜日 and 日曜日 Very good. And now I want you to try to remember these days, okay? I will give you 10 seconds. How did it go? Let's take a look. Did you remember them correctly? 月曜日、火曜日、水曜日、木曜日、金曜日、土曜日、日曜日. Very good. Now, how would we ask which day of the week is it? Let's take a look at this sentence and its structure. 今日は何曜日ですか?今日は何曜日ですか? So today means is 今日. So today is 今日. Wa is a topic particle. 今日は as for today. Nan means what. 曜日 day of the week. Des means is and ka is a question indicator. So what day of the week is it today? It would sound like this. 今日は何曜日ですか? And we would reply in this way. 今日は something 曜日です. 今日は something 曜日です. Or without 今日は we can just say something 曜日です. Very good. So how could we say it's Monday? I will give you 5 seconds and then we will check our answer. 今日は何曜日ですか? 月曜日です. 月曜日です. Monday. Very good. 今日は何曜日ですか? How about Tuesday? 火曜日です. 火曜日です. Very good. Now let's move on to Wednesday. 今日は何曜日ですか? 水曜日です。水曜日です。Now Thursday. 今日は何曜日ですか? 木曜日です。木曜日です。Now Friday. 今日は何曜日ですか? 金曜日です。金曜日です。Now Saturday. 今日は何曜日ですか? 土曜日です。土曜日です。And our last day, Sunday. 今日は何曜日ですか? 日曜日です。日曜日です。Great job. Now let's practice. I will ask you, how old are you? 何歳ですか? And you will see a number on the screen and I will give you 5 seconds to try to tell me the answer in Japanese, okay? 何歳ですか? 何歳ですか? 20歳です。20歳です。20 years old. Very good. 何歳ですか? 何歳ですか? 18歳です。18歳です。18. 何歳ですか? 何歳ですか? 21歳です。21歳です。21. 何歳ですか? 何歳ですか? 85歳です。85歳です。85. 何歳ですか？何歳ですか？25歳です。25歳です。25。何歳ですか？何歳ですか？46歳です。46歳です。46。何歳ですか？何歳ですか？55歳です。55歳です。55。お疲れ様です。You have worked so hard and you have learned a lot of new vocabulary today. You have learned months, days of the week, and days of the month, and you learned how to tell your age. I'm very proud of you. おめでとうございます。Congratulations, and I will see you in our next lesson. またね。皆さん、日本語コースへようこそ。Hello and welcome to another class with this Japanese for Beginners course. It's your teacher Rosie again, and I'm so excited about today because we will learn a lot of new vocabulary. But before that, I would like us to practice what we have learned in the previous lesson. So let's have a short review, or as we call it in Japanese, 復習. So I will repeat every word twice. Are you ready? Let's go. 1月、1月、2月、2月、3月、3月、4月、4月、5月、5月、6月、6月、7月、7月、8月、8月、9月、9月、10月、10月、11月、11月、12月、12月、1日、1日、2日、2日、3日、3日、4日、4日、5日、5日、6日、6日、7日、7日、8日、8日、9日、9日、10日、10日、誕生日、誕生日、月曜日、月曜日、火曜日、火曜日、水曜日、水曜日、木曜日、木曜日、金曜日、金曜日、土曜日、土曜日、日曜日、日曜日。Very good. Now, today we will learn how to call different colors in Japanese, how to name animals. We will learn names of a lot of objects and things, and we will learn how to ask the question whose. Now, without further ado, are you ready? Let's do this. So we will start from things or objects. Mono, mono, mono. Car, kuruma, kuruma, kuruma. Book, hon, hon, hon. Pen, 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 pen. Chair, isu, isu, isu. Table, 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 table. Bag, kaban, kaban, kaban. Ball, 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 ball. Now, how do we call colors or color in Japanese? It's iro, iro, iro. So how do we ask what color is it in Japanese? We would say it like this. Nani iro desu ka? Nani iro desu ka? Nani means what in Japanese. Iro means color. Des means is, and ka is a question particle. So what color is it? Let's start from blue. Ao, ao, or aoi. So we have e in brackets because it can also be used as an adjective, e adjective. Okay? And I want to tell you one thing, that Japanese people sometimes use this color to describe what is color green for us. For example, the green light of a traffic light or the greenness of the grass. So this might be a little bit confusing. So it's green and blue at the same time, okay? Red, aka, aka or akai. Yellow, kiro, kiro or kiroi. Black, kuro, kuro or kuroi. White, shiro, shiro or shiroi. The real green would be midori, midori, midori. Brown would be chairo, chairo, chairo. Purple, murasaki, murasaki. Pink, pink, pink. Gray, hairo, hairo. Orange, 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 orange. Now let's practice. Let's do renshu, renshu in Japanese. So take a look at all of these colors and try to remember how would we call them in Japanese, okay? I will give you 10 seconds to remember all the names of these colors. If you need more time, feel free to pause or listen here. But I think it's a very, very good way to try to memorize colors, okay? Okay, so let's check. Aoi, akai, kiro or kiroi, midori, chairo, murasaki, pink, kuroi. Here it should be shiroi, hairo, and orange, orange. So I want to remind you one more time that colors ending in I, they can be treated as adjectives, as e-adjectives, okay? Now let's do a little practice. I have some things written here in English and I would like you to think how could you say it in Japanese, okay? I will give you 5 seconds to think about it and then we will check our answer, okay? So red car. Akai kuruma, akai kuruma. Very good. Yellow pen. Kiroi pen, kiroi pen. Black book. Kuroi hon, kuroi hon. White ball. Shiroi boru, shiroi boru. Red wine. This will be an exception, but I want you just to try to guess how could we say it in Japanese. Aka wine, aka wine. So this is a set. So with wine, word wine, red color will always be aka, aka, not akai. Another exception, black cat. Kuroneko, kuroneko. So it's not kuroi neko, it's kuroneko. And now let's read some example sentences. Kusa wa ao desu. Kusa wa ao desu. Kusa in Japanese means grass, so as for grass, it is green. Take a look here. Ao, we use not midori. We use ao, color blue/green, and we don't use it fully. We don't use aoi. We just say ao, ao desu. Our next sentence is ao shingo, ao shingo. Shingo is a traffic light in Japanese. So green traffic light would be ao shingo. Again, we would use color ao, and we wouldn't say aoi. We would say ao, ao. And now let's learn about animals, or doubutsu. Doubutsu, doubutsu. Cat, neko, neko, neko. Dog, inu, inu, inu. Bird, tori, tori, tori. Elephant, zo, zo, zo. Lion, shishi, shishi. Rayon, rayon. So you can choose which one you want to use. Bear, kuma, kuma, kuma. Bear, kuma, kuma, kuma. Horse, uma, uma, uma. Tiger, tora, tora, tora. Turtle, kame, kame, kame. Pig, butta, butta, butta. Cow, ushi, ushi, ushi. And now let's learn how to ask the question whose. So who in Japanese is dare, 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 and no is a possessive particle. It means that something belongs to someone. So if we add no to dare, it becomes dare no, whose. And if we want to ask whose something is it, we need to say dare no something desu ka? Dare no desu ka? So let's try to make questions with the nouns that we already know and that we have learned in this lesson, okay? How could we ask, whose cat is it? I'll give you 5 seconds to think about it. Dare no neko desu ka? Dare no neko desu ka? Whose car is it? Dare no kuruma desu ka? Dare no kuruma desu ka? Whose dog is it? Dare no inu desu ka? Dare no inu desu ka? Whose turtle is it? Dare no kame desu ka? Dare no kame desu ka? Whose chair is it? 誰の椅子ですか誰の椅子ですか Whose bag is it? 誰のカバンですか誰のカバンですか Whose book is it? 誰の本ですか誰の本ですか Whose pen is it? 誰のペンですか誰のペンですか Whose tiger is it? 誰の虎ですか誰の虎ですか Very good, you have done a very, very good job with these exercises, and let's review right now what we have learned in this lesson, all of our vocabulary, okay? Mono, mono, kuruma, kuruma, hon, hon, pen, pen, 椅子、椅子、テーブル、テーブル、カバン、カバン、ボール、ボール、色、色、青い、青い、赤い、赤い、黄色 or 黄色い、黒 or 黒い、白 or 白い、緑、緑、茶色、茶色、紫、紫、ピンク、ピンク、灰色、灰色、オレンジ、オレンジ、動物、動物、猫、猫、犬、犬、鳥、鳥、象、象、獅子 or ライオン、熊、熊、馬、馬、虎、虎、亀、亀、豚、豚、牛、牛。お疲れ様です。You have really worked so hard in this lesson. You've learned a lot of vocabulary. So please take your time to review it by yourself and to take your time to process it all, okay? おめでとうございます。Congratulations, and I'll see you in our next lesson. またね。